Hello everyone. So in this session, we are going to discuss about thermal power plant. Thermal power plant also referred as the steam power plant. So in this presentation, I am going to discuss these are the contents: introduction, working principle, general layout of the thermal power plant, main equipments, waste generated and their control, advantages and disadvantages, and reference for this presentation. So the thermal or steam power plant, it converts the heat energy of coal into the electrical energy. The coal is burnt in a boiler which converts water into steam. So in the boiler, from the coal handling system, the coal is burnt and it converts water into the steam. The expansion of the steam in turbine produces the mechanical power which drives the alternator, that is generator, coupled to the turbine. So the function of the alternator generator, we already know, it converts the mechanical energy into the electrical energy. The thermal power plant contribute maximum to the generation of power for any country. The thermal power plant constitutes 75.43% of the total installed captive and non-captive power generation in India. In thermal or steam generating stations, coal or oil, natural gas, etc. are employed as a primary sources of energy. The working principle of the thermal or steam power plant is: first, the water is taken into the boiler from the water source. The boiler is heated with the help of coal. The increase in the temperature, it helps in the transformation of the water into steam. That means the phase change takes place. The water into the steam. The steam generated in the boiler is sent through a steam turbine. The turbine has blades that rotate when high velocity steam flows across them. This rotation of turbine blades is used to generate the electricity. A generator is connected to the steam turbine. When the turbine turns, the electricity generated and given as output by the generator, which is then supplied to the consumer through the high voltage power. So this is the general layout of the thermal power plant. It consists of the ash handling system, ash transportation system, boiler, then chimney, air preheater, economizer, condensate water pump, turbine, condenser, alternator, and circulating water pump, and the cooling towers. So the main equipments of thermal steam power plants are coal handling plant, pulverizing plant, boiler, turbine, condenser, cooling towers and ponds, feed water heater, economizer, and air preheater. The function of the coal handling plant: the coal is transported to power station by rail or road and stored in the coal storage plant and then pulverized. The function of the coal handling plant is automatic feeding of the coal to the boiler furnace for conversion of the water into the steam. A thermal power plant burns enormous amount of the coal. A 200 megawatt plant may require around 2000 tons of coal daily. Pulverizing plant: in modern thermal power plants, coal is pulverized, ground to dust-like size and carried to the furnace in a stream of hot air. Pulverizing is a means of exposing a large surface area to the action of oxygen and consequently helping the combustion. The pulverizing process consists of three stages, that is classified as feeding, drying, and grinding. Boiler: the function of the boiler is to generate the steam at desired pressure and temperature by transferring the heat produced by burning of the fuel in a furnace to change the water into the steam. The turbine: the thermal power plants, generally 3 turbines are used to increase the efficiency: high pressure turbine, intermediate pressure turbine, and low pressure turbine. Condenser: the surface condenser is a cell and tube heat exchanger where cooling water flows through your tubes and exhaust steam fed into the cell surrounds the tubes. As a result, the steam condenses outside the tube. This is the cell and tube heat exchanger. So cooling towers and the ponds: the condenser needs a huge quantity of water to condense the steam. Most plants use cooled cooling system where warm water coming from the condenser is cooled and reused. Cooling tower is a steel or concrete hyperbolic structure with a height of 150 meter. Then feed water heater: the feed water heating improves the overall plant efficiency. Thermal stresses due to the cold water entering the boiler drum are avoided. Quality of the steam produced by the boiler is increased. Economizer: the function of the economizer is the flue gases coming out of the boiler carry a lot of heat An economizer extract the part of this heat from the flue gases and use it for heating the feed water, saving coal consumption and higher boiler efficiency.